Hey Cosorians, are you ready to shamrock and roll? I'm Chef Mia and this is Chef Jackie.
Hi everyone, welcome to our St. Patrick's Day episode.
Today I'll be teaching you how to make an unbelievably delicious Guinness Creme Brulee in the air fryer.
Don't forget to subscribe to be a Cosorian.
Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified for every new air fryer video we upload. We upload a new video every week. Perfect, we've got everything measured out. I'm gonna pass it on to Jackie. She's gonna start us off with the custard base.
So we're just gonna put this Guinness beer in the medium saucepan. We're gonna put it in here because once you open it, it might overflow. So this is just to prevent any messes from happening. So, not bad. There it goes.
Brewtastic. Yeah, so that can is actually a perfect 2 cups. You want 2 cups of Guinness beer with the custard base. We're going to be turning on our induction stove right after Jackie gets the rest of the ingredients in, and we'll give you a little bit note about not to over stir the custard base.
All right, and in goes the heavy cream.
That's about 2 cups of heavy cream right there.
A 1/3 cup of sugar.
Yeah, so Jackie's adding in a 1/3 cup of sugar. The entire recipe is only calls for 1 cup of sugar. We just divided it into thirds and we'll go a 1/3 for each part along the way.
All right, so turn it on. We're gonna do medium heat?
Yes.
So 5 is good?
5 is good.
Okay.
Yeah. You can totally do this on a traditional stovetop if you like. We just thought that the induction burner would be a little bit faster today for today's video, and so that's why we're using it.
So you want to gently stir because you don't want to agitate it and cause any more bubbles. So a spatula is good as well, a whisk. You can use a whisk just to help it dissolve the sugar, but it's gentle stirs. The more bubbles there are, once it gets to the custard, you're going to see bubbles on top, and we don't want that. But if there is, it's okay. It's totally fine. It's still edible.
Cosorians, Irish, you were here because it smells so good. I love this custard base. It's like super savory and it's got like this chocolatey, malty taste because of the Guinness. Ooh, so good. All right, so while Jackie's doing that, she's gonna wait until the custard base comes to a boil, not a broil, and then she's gonna remove it from the heat and then pour it into a separate cup so it's easier to pour into our egg mixture. So while she's doing that, we're gonna move on to our egg mixture here. I've got 6 egg yolks. I used extra large eggs. And then we're gonna add in a whole tablespoon of vanilla extract and a 1/3 cup of sugar. We're going to cream the eggs and sugar and vanilla together until it becomes light, pale, and fluffy. It's gonna take about 3 to 5 minutes. How's it going?
It's good.
Yeah?
So we're just gonna pour this into this mixing cup right here so it makes it easier to pour in while you're whisking. Let's use a ladle so we don't want to spill everything out. We don't want to spill all this goodness out.
Yeah, it smells so good. It's so bready. It's good. But like chocolatey because Guinness has like a very yeasty, malty, chocolatey flavor profile. It's really good. So why we're doing this is because it helps that liquid cool a little bit more, and then we're going to be tempering it into the egg mixture. You don't want to pour something super hot, super fast into a bowl of cold eggs, otherwise it's going to scramble, and you don't want scrambled eggs. It's not very good. Okay, so Jackie, if you don't mind, I'm just going to keep whisking and you slowly stream in. Whew. You want to do about a 1/3 of it first, and then let the eggs come up to temperature before adding the rest of it. Ooh, nice. It smells really good. Okay, so right now we are getting a few bubbles, so I'm just gonna transition out of this and switch to my spatula, and we're going to continue to temper these eggs. So if you don't mind Jackie helping me continue. Perfect. Nice. So again, if you're doing this at home, if you have the going back to that electric hand mixer or a stand mixer, that way you can do it 1 person. You don't need 2 people to help you complete this recipe. But since we've got Jackie here, which by the way, she's the cutest clover in the patch.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna do this together and show you this great recipe for the Guinness Creme Brulee. It's gonna be so good. Alrighty, we're almost there. Cool. Let's get the rest of that in here. So the same reasoning as to why we switched from the spatula from the whisk based off of the induction burner is because you don't want a lot of foam on top of your custard base. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna move that here. There's a bit of foam on top, but that's okay. So we cut a aluminum pan. I just took all the ridges off. So our air fryer has already been preheated to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to take that little metal pan I cut and just put it down here. Then in the aluminum well, you're gonna add in 1 cup of water. And now is the fun part. Ooh, sorry Jackie, can I have the ladle? Perfect. So we put in the ramekins like this, and that I'm just showing you, and then just reinsert down with the aluminum pan with 1 cup of water. We are using 10-ounce ramekins today because we want to be able to have each ramekin serve about 2 people, and we're just going to fill it up until this upper rim right here. So there's going to be like a divot right here, and then you can tell when to fill it up to. You don't want to go over that because it's going to puff up a little bit because it is a custard. It will rise due to the eggs, and then it will spill out into the air fryer. So don't overfill it. I like salivating. It smells so good.
It smells really good.
Yeah.
It's very like holiday, you know, that sweet chocolate molasses kind of smell.
Yeah.
And creme brulee is always good. It's a good dessert to share.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good dessert to make with your family or, you know, significant others. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
It's really fun. And trust me, all the leprechauns will be wanting this pot of gold. That's for sure. Alright, we're gonna be careful now when you do this because there is water in it. There's not too much, so we're just gonna gently put it into the air fryer. Okay, so once again, it's going to be 300 degrees for 40 minutes. There's no need for a shake button or anything this time. We're just going to let it go. There's no need to open it, and if you do, just be careful because the water and the cream in the ramekins may slosh out. So we're just gonna go right ahead now, and here we go. Yes, the creme brulee have just finished. Jackie, if you please take that out for us.
Right, so like we said before, gently pull it out because there's water in here. So you know,
Beautiful.
splash it on yourself. There you go.
Yeah, so again, we're just going to utilize that dual basket option. Woo! Great. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so this is why we didn't want to overfill it because this one kind of came up a little bit on the edges, but that's okay. It's still really pretty. Please be careful when you take it out of the basket. It will be very hot. Here we are. You're going to want to let these creme brulee cool here at room temperature until the ramekins are not hot anymore, then cool to the touch. Then you're gonna want to refrigerate for 2 hours. But good thing for us, I've already done that. So these little babies have been out here. They've been coming up to room temperature for 30 minutes. So once again, because that was kind of confusing, once they come out of the air fryer, let it cool for a little bit. I would say about like 3 to 5 minutes, just so it's cool to the touch. Then take the hot creme brulee and put it into your fridge to cool for 2 hours so it completely sets. After the 2 hours, bring it out, let it rise to room temperature, and now we're going to torch the tops. So I made these about a day ago, and I just wanted to show you why you don't want to have too much foam. Right here, with all these air pockets you see, that's because of the foam. So the creme brulee not only steamed in the air fryer, but it steamed over the foam, so it created a bunch of these air pockets. So this isn't an overcooked custard, I swear. It's not. It's just got a little bit too foamy. Yeah. Okay, would you like to do honors?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the last third of that sugar from the whole recipe. So one recipe of this Guinness Creme Brûlée yields 4 10-ounce ramekins of creme brulee. That's about 8 servings. So do what you want with that information. You can eat it on your own. You can share with a friend.
I'm not sharing.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So we're just going to sprinkle some sugars on the top, and then we're going to dump out the excess. You want to do that, Jackie? So we're just gonna Shake it like
You
so.
can tap it.
Yeah.
As long as you get like this little thin layer of sugar.
And if there's too much, you can always tap out the excess.
But don't tap too hard because it might fall out.
Yeah, that's true.
So just a little. So with this torch, you can have a small torch or buy a torch with a torch attachment on top. You can find it at any like culinary store or even hardware store. A butane tank is sold separately, so you would have to buy that. So yeah. I like to start on low first.
Yes. And if you have any little ones running around, make sure that their hands are out of the way.
Yes. Also make sure you don't try to touch the tops of it. You might burn your hands. So maybe move it away, touch the bottom, rotate it. You don't want such a high flame because you don't want to burn it. Because it does burn quick,
Yes.
sugar. So you can go low and slow. Nothing that you would have to rush yourself with.
It smells so good. That caramel, like almost burnt, but not burnt caramel smell. I don't know if that makes sense, but it smells really good. So with the sugar on top of your creme brulee, you want to make sure it's not too thick of a layer. Otherwise, when you use a spoon to crack through it, it's going to be too hard. That's not going to taste good. That's not going to feel good in your mouth. It's going to be like shards of glass. So you want to make sure it's a very thin layer and you tap out the excess. If it starts to dissolve on the top, that's okay. I would just put a little bit more just so there is an actual crust on the top, and you just shake it again to even it out. I think that one looks good for now. Let's move on to this one.
All right. See a little
Perfect.
bubblage.
Yeah. Smells so good.
You do want to rotate it so that it's not sitting on one spot.
Yeah.
And it'll evenly distribute the heat.
Yes.
But what we want is just a nice golden brown.
If you like turbinado sugar or cane sugar, you can definitely do so, but I highly recommend you get the finely ground versions so that when you do sprinkle the sugar on top of the creme brulee, you can easily tap out the excess and it just creates a thin layer, like what we said earlier, just so it's a nice, even texture once you put the spoon in and into your mouth. And once again, it's time for our favorite part of the day, the tasting with Chef Jackie.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what I like to do, I know like every person who gets creme brulee would like to hear the sound. That's the hard sugar.
Ooh.
But, you know, obviously just dig right in.
Nice. Wow. Look at that color. It's great. So the caramelization of the sugar on top matches really well with this more savory, more chocolatey version of a creme brulee, right? You would say so?
It's very, very creamy. But it also has that Guinness taste that if you're a Guinness lover, you're going to really love this one. But it's not too sweet. It's sweet enough. And the sugar on top is just like the greatest texture. It's like crackly and it's good.
I think it's very silky smooth. Sorry, the caramel gets on your teeth a little bit, but it's so good. But it's just so delicious, and I was just wondering, Jackie, how did you come up with this recipe?
So in culinary school, we had our final where our professor decided, hey, let me just throw something in for you. And she had like a couple of brown paper bags,
Cool.
and they have different ingredients in it. And one group chose a bag which had Guinness in it, and they also had a recipe for creme brulee, and they had to incorporate Guinness into one of the recipes. So they said, okay, well, let's try the creme brulee one. They tried it, we all tasted it, we love it, and I still remember it to this day. So this is a really good recipe.
That's awesome. That's like a chopped thing. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I love culinary school. It's like they kind of just throw you into the fire. It's like that at CIA too. So it's like crazy. Yeah. I really hope everyone tries this recipe. It's just so good. And you can do this not just for St. Patrick's Day either, but because it is St. Patrick's Day and we love Irish beer like Guinness, we hope you try this. And we want to know, Custodians, what is your favorite St. Patrick's Day tradition? Leave your answers down in the comments below. And before we send you off, we'd like to give you an Irish blessing.
Happiness being a dessert so sweet.
May life bring you more than you can ever eat. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.